update. Let's now go back to the happier pictures, ladies and gentlemen. This is from the school. Melania Trump, the First Lady, is there inside the classroom.
Okay, now let's see. Okay, just keep this in your mind, and at the end of the story, we will see that it is matching with the real story or not. Okay, so the story name is Stage Fright. Okay, and the story writer is Yamini Vijayan and was stated by Somesh Kumar. So let us start the story. Yes, ma'am. Okay, very good. So Champa loves singing more than anything else in this whole wide world. She sings in the bathroom while taking the mug and on the roof. She sings to the hills and to the moon. She sings like a lion. Yes, and like a bee. She sings through rains and through heat. When Champa sings, she is filled with the most marvelous feeling in this whole world. Okay, that's good. One day, when Champa sings, Basant's eyes light up. I have an amazing idea. He says, Basant is Champa's best friend. Okay, who is your best friend? Tarun, who is your best friend? Arushi. Oh my God, who is your best friend? And my best friend is Pelda, ma'am. Okay, Basant is Champa's best friend. He's always busting with ideas. Someone terrific. Someone
Well, so that was a small storytelling and a story reading exercise that the teachers and the students engaged in. Clearly, there has been a lot of effort to try and practice and to understand so that they are at their best in front of the US First Lady. But this is also an experience. Imagine if when you're watching this broadcast, Sardar R.P. Singh and Brigadier Datta, and to all our viewers, were you not smiling? Were you not happy? Did you not see that there is so much of positivity and a positive energy among the kids? This is the India and this is the future we want to give to our children. Why is this lost on everybody? Sardar R.P. Singh, why is this lost? Why is this lost on those people who believe that they are actually furthering their individual agendas, but they are actually hurting the country?
Anand, let's not debate that for a while till evening. We'll talk about that tomorrow or late in the night, in your last show. But
yes,
right now, it is a very positive note that the First Lady is with the children and is there in one of the good schools where children are trying to put their best to the lady and tell lady that First Lady that how well they are being treated and how education system is improving in country. Let's talk about that right now. And because if I get into that, it will be big debate, and I don't want to discuss that right now. We'll discuss.
I respect that. Let's focus on this. They are building blocks. There are engagement. This is a government school. Now, why can't all government schools in our country be like this? Delhi is the first step. There are a few schools in Delhi. There should be more out of the 1,030 schools. All the 1,030 schools in Delhi should be eventually this. Can this be an agenda? Can this be a program? Look at the messaging that we are sending to the world when we are putting these pictures out. That's what we need to do, Brigadier Datta. This is the step we need to take collectively, because rise above politics, because this is the message that the world is going to see about India. They're going to see these are government schools which are happening, these are public schools which are happening, funded by the government, and this is what is being done. Education at the core of the strength and the prosperity of our future generations.
Yeah, I agree with you, Anand. Joy is the best gift one can give to himself, and joy is a portable thing. You can carry it anywhere. And I appreciate the effort of Delhi government that the education not only has been made affordable, it has also brought education to the reach of people who are underprivileged or who are not fortunate to afford good education. And I agree with Anand that health, education, defense, these are certain areas where the government should, always take a step forward, and it should be available to the people, to the masses who are otherwise, deprived of such facilities and such exposures.
No, but that should be the challenge. Education for all. Public schools to the standards that we are seeing at this point. Government schools like in Moti Bagh. Do we have 1,030 government schools in Delhi? And can we have 100,000 schools or perhaps 1 million schools across the country which are government schools like this, which impart this kind of messaging and this kind of education? That's got to be the challenge. I've got Sahil with us on the phone line. Sahil, clearly the First Lady enjoying her session. She was smiling, laughing as the kids were responding and they were engaging with the teacher there inside the classroom.
Yes, right now the happiness curriculum session is on, which is being attended by the First Lady. Of course, she was earlier welcome with a young kid, with kids showering rose petals at her, that beautiful band also playing on one side, and on the other side there were students in school uniform, young boys and girls who also perform the traditional aarti. She was also the tilak, and of course, as I said, then showering of rose petals also happened. Right now, of course, the happiness curriculum session is on. Just a quick backgrounder for our viewers. Happiness curriculum was started by the Delhi government in the second tenure of Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. It's a 1 hour class, though I think for the First Lady it's been shrunk to about 45 minutes. It's non-academic in nature. In this happiness curriculum, everything associated with good conduct, everything associated with moral conduct, everything associated with positivity, how some men and women of high stature conducted themselves through the course of history. Those are the lessons which are imparted to students. It's essentially to do with how one conducts one in day-to-day life, and less to do with our conventional academic structure in our education system.
Right. Great, Sahil. Thanks for the update. We're going to stay with these pictures, and this is government education at par with the levels of private education that can be given and that can be accorded. And if this can be done at Moti Bagh, why can't it be done across schools? More importantly, Ambassador Vishnu Prakash and Ambassador Ashok Sajanhar, good afternoon, I must say. Thank you for joining us here in the studio on this special broadcast. This is going to send across another very strong message to the world as how they see. These are the pictures which represent India. These are the pictures you want to represent India, of education, of color, of tradition, of fervor. Not of violence, not of rioting, not of stone pelting, which is also happening simultaneously, which is unfortunate. But this is an image where you have the First Lady of the most powerful country in the world, sitting there inside a classroom run by the government, by the Delhi government, enjoying what children are learning. In a quotient, just by looking at these pictures, all of us are smiling. So imagine the happiness that it is going to bring. But it is also important for the world to see where India is taking its education forward in terms of a story, a growth story. Ambassador Vishnu Prakash.
You are absolutely right. That is the big challenge that not only India but every country in the world is facing, about A, the quality of education, and B, happiness. Because the stress levels have become so high, and what is the worrisome phenomena is that amongst the children, the mental health issues are becoming a challenge. So India needs, every country needs to imbibe and propagate the best practices, so that this can be replicated, or the best practices can be replicated all over the world. That is the need of the hour. And I am very happy that we are doing a pilot in this school in Delhi, and the First Lady has decided to come here to witness it, and hopefully this should send out a message of cooperation among the Committee of Nations, because we need many more such models.
Ashok Sajanhar, Ambassador.
Yes, absolutely, Anand. I fully agree with what you have said. I think this is the way to go forward. Because, looking at what the sort of heavy bags that school children carry with them, you would recall that even the Indian courts, the High Court had to get into the act and say that, the number of books that are being carried, it is not only, for the physical health, it is harmful and injurious for the children, but definitely in terms of the mental stress levels. So I think this is very good that this is happening. A beginning has been made, because I recall that in all the years, 30 plus years, that I was representing the country out of India in different other countries. And there always people used to marvel that India is a democracy, vibrant democracy, robust democracy, moving forward in terms of the economic growth, economic heft, it is increasing, but still it has been able to maintain its links with its traditions and its heritage. You know, something that Mahatma Gandhi had said that, you know, I would like my house to be open, all windows should be open, so that new ideas and new thoughts come from all sides, but my feet are solidly implanted on the ground. I'm not blown off my feet by any one of them. So I think this is to maintain our traditions, and our traditions are such that, you know, there should be carefree living, carefree, and this has to be really imbibed and inculcated right from the childhood.
Well,
this is what we see here.
Sudesh Sharma of the BJP with us. The First Lady is at the happiness class, and I think she's saying bye to the kids and to the teachers. So she's going to make her way out, and I think we will have those visuals of her leaving the school and heading back to the Hyderabad house in just a short while from now. And it's all being planned to the T. 12:15 by the clock. 12:40 p.m. Is when we are expecting the signing of the agreements, and therefore a declaration of the joint declaration or the statement that would come in. So Maha Siddiqui is live with us. So let's get across to the business aspect of it, as the two leaders are shaking hands and they're going to talk, and both of them are going to negotiate hard in the interest of their respective nations that they represent. Maha Siddiqui, how is it going so far, and what is going to be the win-win? What is India going to cede so that Trump thinks that he's won, and what is the US going to do so that India's interests are protected and India's interests are taken care of?
All right, so there are separate takeaways that will be there for both the countries. So as far as the US is concerned, Donald Trump is going to take back $3 billion worth defense deals from India. One for 24 multi-role naval maritime helicopters for the Navy, for the Indian Navy that is, which the US made helicopters will be sold to India. That has already been cleared by the Cabinet Committee on Security. So that is one. The other one is of 6 Apache for the Indian Army. So these are in total about $3 billion. The 24 helicopters themselves are $2.6 billion. That's the deal. These were requirements of the Indian forces for some time now. In fact, as far as the 24 MH-60 Romeo helicopters are concerned, Anand, the talks were going on for the last 1 year, and it was, being something that the Army, that the Navy had been constantly asking for. As far as India is concerned, India has expressed the desire that the joint statement should be very powerful. It should be strongly worded on the issue of terrorism, cross-border terrorism, and mince no words on the fact that India has been suffering at the hands of the neighboring country, pushing across terrorists into Indian territory. Now, yesterday, Donald Trump at the event at Mortera did point out how the pressure that has been built by the US has made Pakistan act against terror. He also said that they have made in their relationship with Pakistan some progress based on that. So we are expecting some strong words coming in the joint statement with regards to the issue of terrorism. India is also hoping and was looking at getting some intent on a free trade agreement mentioned there in the joint statement. Moreover, the US wants a para on at least showing a future vision for Indo-Pacific. As you know, this area has become very vital. We have seen some amount of Chinese hegemony there, and therefore both sides have been stressing that there should be freedom of navigation, and laws with pertaining to maritime exchanges need to be respected by all countries. This is becoming a trade hub, a trade route, and therefore it is something imperative for all the countries in this region to demand that. We have seen US, India, of course, coming together on that count. We also have a Quad which has US, India, Japan and Australia. So all this is with regards to Indo-Pacific. This is broadly what the two sides are looking at. Trade is an issue where there are several outstanding elements at the moment, as I was explaining, from more market access that both sides are seeking to, of course, US and specifically Donald Trump himself constantly constantly rallying against India over high tariffs, which India has denied, saying India's tariffs are well within WTO norms, also not higher than any other developing country. In fact, some countries, for instance, Japan and Korea, have higher tariffs than India. So these are still issues that need to be settled. Data localization is another issue as far as all elements are concerned, which has cropped up between the two sides. So we'll have to see how much of these issues, especially with regards to trade, have been discussed, because a trade deal is not being signed simply because of the fact that despite 1 year of negotiations, there are many sticking points.
Well, so now as they tough it out, the two leaders, you've got Melania Trump also having a tough job at hand, that is to get the attention of the children that she's engaging with in the happiness class. So she's moved from one classroom to the other, and these pictures show that she's trying to sit and play with them and make some blocks or it looks like blocks there, where she's trying to play with them and look at shapes and trying to get the attention of these little kids, little children, who are seeing somebody other than their teacher in their midst, talking to them and engaging with them. So a fantastic opportunity there as she moves from one group to the other of children. There they are doing some drawing work or coloring work. There are others who are building something in the front of the screen, if you see. And there she is, getting on her haunches to try and get down to the kids, not asking for a separate chair or a bench, and very, very comfortable seemingly. Now there you go, she's going to sit on one of those little chairs with the kids and further engage with the kids. So those pictures will are the relief, actually, as far as the images are concerned, which will keep that smile constant on all our viewers. But to the right side of the screen are the tough deals and the big deals, where the two leaders are going to now say, all right, friendship aside, let's talk shop. Ambassador Ashok Sajjanar, terror-wise, and Brigadier Datta continues with us. So I'm going to ask you on this. As far as fighting terror vis-a-vis Pakistan, our Kashmir policy, do you believe America will raise some of these concerns as to how India is handling Jammu and Kashmir and the Kashmir policy post the abrogation of Article 370? Or is India going to be able to keep that or convince America as to what actions we have taken? Because there will be concerns that will be raised.
Okay, because you raised two questions, Anand. One is about terror, and what I'd like to say is that over the last 3 years, as far as President Trump is concerned, he has really, to a very significant extent, walked the talk in terms of applying pressure on Pakistan. We remember the tweet that he had given on the 1st of January 2018, when he had said that, we have given $33 billion to Pakistan and they have only cheated us, and they are giving safe havens to those terrorists whom we want, to be repatriated to us or to take control of them. So he's been, and whether it is Masood Azhar, it is the FATF, on all these aspects we have received support from him. Only over the last year or so, because President Trump feels that he needs the good offices of Pakistan to get the Taliban to the negotiating table. So he is seen to have gone a little soft on them, and I think that is what could explain what he said yesterday also at the Vallabhbhai Patel Stadium, that we have good relations with Pakistan, although he did apply the that Pakistan has to take care of terrorism if it wants to start a dialogue with India. So, that is as far as terrorism is concerned. As far as Kashmir and others, in my view, Anand, we should take it as an excellent opportunity to be able to brief our good friends, like America and President Trump in particular, that whatever is being done is falls squarely within our own purview. It's an internal matter, what has been done on 370, 35A. This is something for better integration of the former state of Jammu and Kashmir and the people of Jammu and Kashmir into the Indian Union. So I think it is an purely
it is an internal issue, but it is being internationalized to quite an extent. And as far as the Republicans and the Democrats are concerned, there is a certain amount of voice and fierce opinion that's coming through from the Democrat ranks. I have to pause for a bit. We'll take this forward, Ambassador Vishnu Prakash. We also have Sudesh Verma of the BJP joining us this afternoon. Sudesh Verma, good afternoon. I have to take a very, very short break. We'll come back with the special broadcast and the latest updates on the other side. Stay with us, please.